What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today I'm going to be playing a Division 1 game against the team that you see on screen right now. I saw that team and I thought, that's a relief. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great team with great players, but this is my 4th Division 1 game now, and the first 3, 2 of them were against top 100 players, and all 3 of them were against teams with, like, 4 or 5 of the absolute top icons. I can imagine now people will look at my team and think, oh, for crying out loud. That GULLIT just, even though it's only one player different in the team in a long time, he is just such a good player. And in the first 9 games I played with him, I've won all 9 of them. 8 of them were in weekend league. We went from 8-2 to 16-2. And then this rivals game here in Division 1. And the title of the video is literally that, Prime GULLIT is a beast. And that is because Prime GULLIT is a beast. In 9 games, he's scored 8 goals for me from the cam spot. There's a couple of penalties in there, I think. But generally speaking, it's hard to explain what he does. I think it's less of how good he actually is in game, even though he's amazing, and more about the fear that he strikes in people because he has this kind of like stigma about him. The GULLIT is such an overpowered beast, so when people see it, it just impacts people. So in this game, we won this game 2-1, I believe. I wanted to show you a full Division 1 game to see what kind of level I'm playing at and what kind of level my opponents are playing at. And he scored and assisted in this game. With that being said, guys, enjoy the game, enjoy the gameplay. I actually wasn't going to upload today because there just isn't really much to do in the game at the moment unless you want to spam rivals, Even weekly objectives, the only 2 weekly objectives I've got left are to score in, I think, 9 separate singles matches and then win the singles matches with bronze players. But both of those reward bronze packs, and it's just not something I'm really willing to engage in just for the sake of doing something. I think that's actually a big problem that we've got right now, and one of the reasons why EA are able to get away with all the lack of content in general is because we are just doing whatever they put in front of them. So their metrics say, hey, they did this, they love this, we'll give more of it. And I think that's a bit of a problem. I was going to just not do anything today. I was going to have a complete day off. Somebody said ruin a randomer. I was like, do you know what? Let me test this team in Division 1. Let me see how I'm playing. Let me see where my level of ability is in D1, and just upload it to YouTube. Even if people don't show up for this one, I wouldn't have uploaded anyway, so it's almost like a bonus video today. I have, of course, got some comments, but thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. If you could drop a thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. Amandeep says, Yo Nepo, do you think EA should bring in a duplicate storage because it's so frustrating having to discard so many untradeable players and especially walkouts? It was a success in World Cup mode, so why not bring it into Ultimate Team? Yeah, I think, I understand kind of why they have a max limit on trade pile space and why they have, why they don't necessarily have duplicate storage, but it would be nice if you just had a storage pile where you could store up to 100 duplicates, or even just 50 or 40, or even just 15 or 10, so that you could, I'd suppose minimum 11 or so, but yeah, 15 or 20 would be good enough, so that you can just hold them there until you've got a full team of players together to put the other player in, instead of having to go out your way to use them. Ultimately, I think it would be cool. I think this game in general has a lot of small functionality features and small quality of life features, essentially, or quality of engagement features that would be such a huge help. For example, it would be great if when I'm searching for a player on the market, I can specify which specific type of the player that I want to search for. So instead of me just searching for all special Ronaldos, maybe I want to search for the one to watch Ronaldo. Instead of me searching for all special Sterlings, maybe I want to search for the UCL Sterling. That would be pretty cool, On top of that, I would love to be able to search for commons and rares individually, and then ratings of players. If I need 183 rated player, I don't want to have to go to Footbin and then search Footbin by player rating and then search that player rating by price and be like, okay, so it's going to be you know, Bauman, that's whoever, you know, or whoever it is, Farman or whatever, oh, he's the cheapest 83, let me go and buy him. I just want to go into the market, put my search parameter as minimum rating 83, maximum rating 83, gold cards, and then boom, just search through the prices and just find the cheapest one. So I think there's I genuinely think there's a lot of like just like quality improvements that they can make to the game that would just be great for us. Why don't they? My only real understanding of it is what I had a conversation with I think Zaro recently in Gamescom. I was chatting to Zaro in one evening at I think it was actually at the EA party. And, you know, he explained to me how, you know, one thing that I would love is to be able to mass list and mass discard items. You know, right now, I have so many fitness cards. I would love to list up just 100 at a time without having to individually list them. And I personally think, and I know a lot of you guys are in the same boat, specifically those that hoard cards and do bronze pack method. I know you guys would love that functionality as well. However, it's explained to me that there are so few people in this game with the number of items in their club as I have, or as some of you guys might have, that for EA to actually spend the resources to create something so that we can mass bid and mass discard, or mass sell, should I say, mass sell and mass discard, it's just resources that they don't feel is necessary. And so when I think about, oh, I would love to be able to search for 83 rated players, perhaps the demand generally just isn't there, and it's a very niche group of people that really want that. So maybe that's why we don't have those sort of things. I don't know. The next comment is from Andoni Lazarides. Says, Nep, I started a pro club with all my friends, and even though EA don't update it, it's been the most fun I've had on FIFA. I think you should start a series with other YouTubers where you play pro clubs. I'm sure you will enjoy it because it's something different and would be enjoyable to watch. We actually typically play clubs every year. Last year we got to Division 1. FIFA 17 we won Division 1 several times. We being myself, Bateson, Marshall, Nick, Skills, Zway. Who else played? Daily Render played a fair bit. We had a few others like from time to time, like Huge Gorilla was in there a bit. We had Lewis H90 came and played for us for a fair bit. You know, we played clubs a lot. One of the first and foremost issues that I have with the people that I play games with in general, not just on FIFA, is that I play with a lot of Americans and Canadians or West Coasters. You know, Nick's on the West Coast, or like in Canada, so connects to West Coast servers. AA's on the East Coast, and then there's me in Europe. So whenever we play any game, whether it's Fortnite or FIFA clubs, or even just wanting to play against each other, there's just connectivity problems. And so it kind of gives us a little bit of trouble in regards to actually playing games together. And clubs is no different to that. But clubs is just a lot of fun. Clubs is the most fun, and maybe on this channel we could get a club series going. But the problem with it is clubs is such an underdeveloped game mode, and a game mode that is desperate for attention and doesn't get any attention. It's a game mode that doesn't get played, therefore doesn't get searched for and doesn't get watched. And so whenever I've done club series in the past, outside of Moy Leicester's with JJ, AA, and Calfreezy back in the day, and then eventually Miniminter, outside of Moy Leicester's, every club series I've ever done, or every time I've uploaded clubs to my channel, it just doesn't hit very well. People actually just don't want to watch it. I don't know why, because I personally think it's one of the most fun game modes. But I think the reason why is because it is just, it's not Ultimate Team, and so I think the next comment I've got is from Ian Mortimer, and he says, pro clubs is one of the most fun things I've ever played. Me and my friends never stop laughing. And I think that I absolutely agree with that, first and foremost. But I think EA need to do more with clubs to get people actually wanting to watch and play and engage with the game mode. And at the moment they just don't do that, because the cash cow that is Ultimate Team is what makes them all of their money, and that's all they really care about. And it does suck, because there's a lot of awesome features you could have. But one thing that I would love to see in FIFA, and I have talked about this a hell of a lot of times, and I still think I've actually been talking about this since like FIFA 12. Like, we're talking like 6 or 7 years of me asking for this. But there needs to be either an Ultimate Team style pro clubs game mode, or in Ultimate Team you need a pro clubs essence. So what I mean by that is, in Ultimate Team they even need to bring in pro clubs, so you can literally play pro clubs in Ultimate Team. You can either use your own pro in Ultimate Team, or you can use players from your Ultimate Team with your friends, and then they can do competitive side of things. They can do tournaments. They can do rewards. You know, imagine you go into a tournament in Pro Club, like, you know, Pro Fuck. Let's call it. Let's call it Fuck Clubs. Fuck Clubs. There you go. Fuck Clubs. You go into a tournament. You have to have a minimum of 5 people in each team. So you have to have 1 any and 4 individuals as a minimum. And it's a tournament. And a tournament's open for 3 days. And you each take your pro player that has to be in there. And then you basically get to decide the rest of the team and the bench and the reserves from players that you have in your actual clubs. And then when you win a tournament, everybody in the club gets a card that you can use in clubs and in Ultimate Team. And that would be cool, because imagine coming up into Foot Champs and coming up against, like, you know, I don't know, like some cool 86 rated left back where you're like, whoa, how has he got that? Oh, he's won that through clubs? I want to win cards like that. Let me go and play some clubs too. And then they could still do the same thing. It's still, you know, you can still monetize it through Ultimate Team. You can monetize it through buying stadiums and kits and crests and all sorts of things, you know. Like, I honestly have an idea, like, and have had an idea for pro clubs literally since FIFA 12, as I said. I talked about this to Hjerpseth back when he used to work for EA. And one night at the FIFA 12 capture event, we talked for literally like 5 or 6 hours about a whole pro club system where there's a transfer market and scouting and you know, a proper leaderboard system with leagues and cups and all sorts. And I still think it is the future of FIFA in terms of competitive and enjoyment for watching and playing, because football is a game where you are one person, you know, in a team. And Ultimate Team is a game where you are one person that is the whole team. And I think that is one of the biggest downfalls in Ultimate Team, is that there is no social aspect of playing. And so I would love to be able to say, hey guys, today we've got a new squad builder with these 3 pro clubs players that I won throughout last month's tournaments, 2 red informs that I won through Foot Champs, a couple of league SBCs, and my a squad battles player or something. Like, I just think that would be really cool, and it's such a shame that we don't have that. Alternatively, in pro clubs, they just need to monetize it and turn it into an Ultimate Team style mode where you can just buy players. Like, what I hate about pro clubs the most is that you get just random AI players on your team. They upgrade the higher you get in divisions, and that's that. What I would love to be able to do in pro clubs is have the right back that I want. So I want Kyle Walker as my right back, or I want Flashback Juanfran as my right back, or whoever it may be. But to get that player, you have to open packs, you have to collect items like in FIFA Ultimate Team, you have to complete SBCs within pro clubs to get those players, and they can literally just turn it into an Ultimate Team style mode where they can monetize it and then put some resources into it. And it's upsetting and frustrating as a lover of FIFA. Forget a YouTuber or content creator, forget someone that makes their living off of this game. As somebody who just loves playing this video game and just loves FIFA in general, it is super disappointing that we don't get more out of the other game modes. It really, really is. Stilios Poyatsis says, the only thing missing from NepentheZ team is a UEL live Ben Yedda. Anyways, love the content. Keep it up and Happy New Year. Thank you very much, man. And Happy New Year to you and everyone watching as well. Yeah, it's interesting. What, like, in terms of like the weak point of my team right now, I would say, you know, we've talked about the weak points of the team. You know, we've gone through a lot of stages of my CDMs and defense being the weak point, and then as the game grows and other people's teams catch up and so on and so forth, my fullbacks became the weak point, and then my cams were the weak point, and packing Gullit kind of just filled in that void. I would say the biggest weak point of my team right now is funnily enough, probably the left back in terms of Alonso. You know, obviously we could use Robertson. I might go and get Tierney. But I also think Makaleli is now a weak point for me. I need a proper, just a quality CDM. You know, whether that be Ballack, I don't think I want it to be Ballack, but like the Vieira style player, that's what I need there now. Like, that's the next aim for me. And then my strikers, or striker, should I switch into a 4-2-3-1, is definitely a little bit of an imbalance. You know, Lacazette's good, Martinez is good, Aubameyang is good, but I need someone who is great now up front. If I'm going to start turning those narrow losses and draws into wins, I'm going to need someone who's never really going to let me down. I need a Neymar or a Ronaldo or a Eusebio or Cruyff or an R9. That's kind of what I need going forwards, you know. Like Son, he does a job. Aubameyang, he does a job. Lacazette, he does a job. Whoever it is that I may put up there at any given time, they'll do a job. But I need that next big card. And when I was looking at who's available, I do look at Raul, because we could complete Raul's Icon SBC. I look at Raul and I think, man, he might just be the one. You know, he's there for a while yet, so we've got some time. We've got a couple of weeks to decide whether or not we want him or not. It would be a lot of resources invested into getting him. It would be about a third to a half of everything in my club gone. Obviously, I get some packs back, but Raul is a phenomenal player that would obviously allow even more links and such. And, you know, his dribbling is exceptional. His positioning and finishing are exceptional. He's got great pace, great stamina, 4-star, 4-star. In terms of traits, he's got the finesse shot trait, so he already has 99 curve as well, which means his curve doesn't matter the fact that it's 75. And you can get him to like a 96 rated striker, I think, at least a 95 rated with Maestro. And so I sit here and I think, is Raul one of the guys that I should be going for right now? You know, should I be looking to get him and have him and then potentially miss out on the chance of another, like, because the thing is, if EA release Henry Prime Icon next, I will get Henry no matter what. As an Arsenal fan and for this series, the first owner road to glory, for me, Prime Henry will be somebody that I will just have in my team, no questions about it. Even though I didn't particularly like him when I used him, I'll just have him. But yeah, so I need to upgrade my team still in some places, guys. But this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There is my first ever Division 1 win in Game 4. Didn't really get too many ELO points for it, but keeps me in Division 1 for a fair while yet, which is absolutely fantastic. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.